ile wizi
ile simiti yote inapatiwana kwa hizo atini. The young men and women in mashinani are the ones getting those contracts. There is proof.
Let me show you a lie.
You show me yours.
Let me show you a lie. By the time...
Hiya guys, back to our YouTube channel. Things are boiling nicely. You see guys, Bonny Khalwale, huyu jamaa ni mwanachama wa ODM party. And don't forget, Bonny Khalwale ndo aliintroduce President William Ruto in Western region. If I'm not wrong. Juni yeye alitumia hiyo UDA party to vie a senator seat in Kakamega County. And now, William Ruto is in panic wakati ambapo Bonny Khalwale leads one-term slogan in Kakamega County. And this guy is going to vie a governor seat in Kakamega County. So ni big blow to President William Ruto. And always guys huwa nakwambia lazima nikupangie mambo jinsi ambavyo yanafanyika hapa nchini Kenya. Na sio Bonny Khalwale peke yake. Yesterday William Ruto alikuwa pande wa Siaya. And ukiangalia William Ruto is busy promising. Sikatai kwamba kuna places William Ruto ameamua sasa kuingia mwenyewe ground na ku make sure vitu zinafanyika akiwa pale. Unaona watu wangu, saizi William Ruto anaweza promise then next week atakuwa pale ku confirm. Joasha realize kwamba even his close allies ambao alikuwa anatumia ku make sure wanafika ground kuangalia mambo yako vipi, wanarejea wanamwambia rais mambo iko sawa, hiyo project inaendelea na inaendelea kukamilika. But wakati ambapo President William Ruto anaingia pale, wanamdivert aende kwengine ili asiatendi pale. And wakati ambapo William Ruto anazungumza kwamba hiyo project imekamilika, then utakuja kuona kwamba residents huwa wanajam kwamba there is nothing umefanya. So now William Ruto anajaribu kutembea sasa witness confirming. Jo ameona hii kitu ni real. Hii one term ni real. Na inaenda for sure. And that's why I'm telling you, William Ruto amesense defeat, so anajaribu kufix hii mambo. Anafix hii mambo but kila kitu imekataa. Unaona watu wangu? Now, hii bombshell, kabla tusikize huyu Bonny Khalwale, hii ni bombshell ambayo William Ruto pia haamini sahi kwamba Bonny Khalwale amesimama saizi leading one term slogan kama Rigathi Gachagua. You are going to be shocked in this video, but ensure me like na nasema thanks for your great support. You see guys, mambo ya President William Ruto promising Kenyans haijaanza sahi. And that's why I can tell you, kwa hii speech ya Edwin Sifuna bado inapiga Rais William Ruto up to now.
And they won't kick the can down the road again. Should the promises have been more realistic?
I don't think you can ask for realistic promises from people who don't have a history of making realistic promises or even keeping the ones that are unrealistic that they make. We warned people during the campaign that in fact a leopard does not change its spots, that if somebody has the history of selling you lies, about 6 stadia in 6 weeks, or we are going for 9 to make it better, or other things. If somebody has a history of telling you lies, unless they meet Jesus on the way to, where was that guy going?
But you knew the Bible.
That's what I'm asking. It can also escape me. Yeah, unless you meet Jesus on the way to Damascus, yes, and then you become a new being.
Yes.
Trevor, we are discussing an extremely critical matter. Do you know it takes a human being who has gone without food and water 3 weeks, you are dead. If you have water, maybe you can sustain yourself for another 2 months. If you are made of stunner stuff, like the people from Western Kenya, you can last 2 months. Mr. Cherargei is Senator Cherargei. When he talks about painkillers, the hypocrisy in this country is just, it stings to high heavens. Mr. Cherargei here cannot go to a dentist to have his tooth removed without crying for anesthesia. If he does that, he can tell us here. This short term that you're talking about, if you have promised us that in 3 months' time, we will have cheap unga, what is so difficult with the government retaining that anesthesia that was there for the people to be able to afford food for 3 months? I asked you this question on the floor of the Senate, and you said, oh, Sifuna, you know you are not a maize farmer because you are a senator in the city, you don't know how long it takes to produce food. You told us that in 3 months, in fact, you told us you are starting harvesting maize this month and that it should go down. So why is the president talking about 1 year for the price of unga to come down? Because you people are taking us round in circles. You don't know what you're doing. This fuel subsidy that you're saying, oh, was benefiting 5 companies. It wasn't benefiting 5 companies. I know for a fact that I was not buying fuel at 170 shillings because there was a subsidy. And fuel prices affect everything. Gerard Gay, please tell us, if you are sure, is it you we should believe, or the president when they say that you are telling us that the price of maize should come down? Is it next week that you are harvesting your crop? Can Kenyans, can Nairobians come to your farm and buy unga cheaper? Where are we supposed to go to find this cheap unga? And after how long? You told us that you're talking about these fuel subsidies. It is at the highest ever level, fuel. Right now. And you know, Trevor, fuel has a knock-on effect. It affects everything. You saw the electricity bills being adjusted upwards because of the fuel cost charge that is embedded in the price of electricity. You told us during the campaign that kazi ni kazi. I was being called by hustlers in Nairobi after the pronouncement by the president that kazi mtaani is no longer kazi. That now this is a kazi that is outdated. What happened to kazi ni kazi? These hustlers that you're talking about in Nairobi, Trevor, a majority of the people here just wake up every day to go and look for kibarua, to be able to earn that 500 shillings that then you come back and 230 you know is going to a packet of unga. Already, you have not paid electricity, you have not paid your rent, you have not paid for water. When you take away that 500 shillings and you promise them that, oh, you are going to be involved in this grand scheme to build houses. It is okay for us to build houses. We don't have a problem with low-cost housing. But that is the long-term story that you're talking about. In the hierarchy of needs, if I remember my basic education, first you start with the food. You're not going to put me on the 6th floor with an elevator, a nice running toilet, but I am hungry, I'm dying in the house. Please, what we expected is that the government would front-load the most urgent issue. If we have a drought that is the most severe drought in 40 years, we need to see cogent and concrete plans to be able to sort out this problem of how we are going to get food sustainable. That can be a long-term plan. But Wamatangi, really, even if we take President Ruto's time frame of 1 year, why is it so difficult to retain that subsidy so that in the short term, just like Cherargei needs his anesthesia to have his tooth removed, please, can we continue to have that low cost of food? I remember very well when President Uhuru Kenyatta spoke about the effects on the Kenyan economy of global happenings. They said, oh, this war in Ukraine is just an excuse. Yeah? And now it is Cherargei coming to tell us that, oh, we do not live in an island, that Kenya is also affected by the global bumps. This is the knowledge that you people were rejecting then. How have you become now the biggest preachers of the same gospel, Cherargei? So what we want to see, we need medium-term interventions to ensure that Kenyans can at least afford a meal. Can you please, as I wait for you to build my low-cost house, can I be alive to see it? Because if I don't get food in 2 or 3 months, I am done. Your project for housing is going to take how many months? You are saying that you will employ all the young people in Nairobi in one construction project that is going to do what? Do they have the necessary skills to do that? Whereas Kazi Mtaani utilized your very basic skills to clean your own environment, to be able to do, to open drainages. You are going to tell somebody who doesn't have maybe the technical skill to lay tiles to be the one to do the job, or to weld windows, surely, Trevor. So what we want is to see some level of seriousness in the approach in this government in terms of what is priority and what is not priority. Lastly, we are being asked to keep quiet. You know, we can't keep quiet, Cherargei. This is our job. The president, when he came to Parliament, said he expects a robust opposition to keep him in check. And an election is a contest of ideas. So it was the ideas that we were putting in place that you guys rubbished, and your ideas that you put in, you are proposing, that we raised serious doubt about. This question of bottom up. You know, those of us who didn't understand the theory of bottom up are still waiting to see the practicals. Maybe we will understand. But we don't see it. We don't see it. You are actually, the burden that you are putting on the lowest income earners in this country, the most vulnerable, is heavier than those of us who are at the so-called top. Cherargei, for you really it doesn't matter how far or how high the cost of unga goes, because you are able to afford. You are in leadership in Parliament. You are in all the good committees. We put you as the vice chair of PAC. You are earning all these allowances, but you are taking away the hustler who was earning 500 shillings at the Kazi Mtaani and then telling him to wait for these grand jobs that are coming. Are you going to make him the senator for Nandi? So we don't see a plan. Once you won the election, once you have been elected, Cherargei, it means that Kenyans chose your ideas over our ideas. How long will you spend telling us that we are the ones who caused the mess? Kenyans all maybe saw that we, and I don't know what we means because I was not part of government, the outgoing government, because I know that William Ruto was part of that government. And even the question of price of unga was a problem even in 2017, Trevor. So you are the people with the instruments of power. Can you please sort this mess out? As you find your way around government, please give us the anesthesia. Give us the painkillers as the people down there, the hustlers that you talk about, for us to be able to survive, to see you with your grand dreams of having this so-called sustainability.
All right, there's a lot of feedback.
And don't forget, Bonny Khalwale yesterday aliangusha bombshell in Kakamega County, Mumias.
Mheshimiwa President, wewe uliambia mimi nikaleta na Bulindo na wajumbe wote wa Kakamega State House tuingize watu wetu kwa kitu ambao unaita SHA Chief. Mimi, Mr. President, nikaita chiefs wote wa Kakamega na assistant chiefs wote wa Kakamega 406, nikawaweka kwa boma yangu Malinya, nikawaambia tuhamasishe watu wetu waingie kwa SHA Chief. Mr. President, sir, watu wetu wameingia SHA Chief, lakini mmewaingiza kwa shimo ambayo hawajui watatoka namna gani. Kitu inaitwa SHA Chief imetumaliza hapa Mumias, imesababisha Mr. President, SHA imesababisha hospitali yetu yenye ilianzishwa 91 years ago in 1932, wakati wa Katoliki sisi walipotuletea hospitali hapa St. Mary's Hospital, imekuwa ikifanya vizuri, lakini kitu yenye mmeleta mvumo wa SHA umesababisha hospitali yetu imefunga, watu wetu wanakufa, watoto wetu wanakufa, mabibi zetu wanakufa, tunasikia vibaya sana. SHA iliambia daktari wa St. Mary's, tibu watu tutakulipa. Akatibu watu, ikafika gharama ya shilingi milioni 117, 117 million. SHA ikalipa hospitali 9 million peke yake badala ya 117. Daktari ameshindwa, hawezi lipa mishahara, hawezi nunua dawa, hawezi nunua vitu reagents za laboratory, hawezi nunua x-ray, amefunga hospitali. Waizi wako watatu, President Ruto, sikia, ninasema mbele ya hiyo kanisa. Mwizi namba moja ni waziri wako kwa maneno ya SHA, Adam Duale, mwizi. Mwizi wa pili ni mwenyekiti wa SHA, anaitwa Dr. Abdi Mohamed, mwizi. Mwizi wa tatu ni mkurugenzi mtendaji, the CEO wa SHA, anaitwa Mercy Mwangangi. President William Ruto, you know me, I fight corruption. Ninakuambia kwamba kama unataka SHA ifanye kazi, leo simamisha kazi Duale, simamisha kazi Mercy Mwangangi, simamisha kazi Dr. Abdi Mohamed. Ukishawasimamisha, na nyinyi polisi anzeni kazi, mshika hao wizi, mwashitaki kwa sababu wameipa 24 billion shillings ya SHA. Konga muto Khalwale weru, konga muto.
Mimi napenda Bonny Khalwale. I may not be in Kakamega, lakini mimi nimezaliwa kule Vihiga, nikapata kura kule Saboti. Alafu mtu anasema Waluya hawako pamoja. Mimi ni Maragoli, nimepewa kura na Wabukusu. Amwezi ambia Waluya wako pamoja. Luyas are together. Ile kitu anakosa ni uongozi. Na raundi hii tumejipanga na huyu Bonny Khalwale na wengine, we must put Luyas in one basket. Wamekosa uongozi, raundi hii mmepata viongozi. Mtushike mkono tuwakomboe. Mko tayari? Na hapa Kakamega, I may not be a voter here, lakini mimi mtu ambaye anaweza angalia Ruto kwa macho na mwambie go away, huyo niko na yeye bwana. Na ule mtu ninaona anaangalia Ruto kwa macho, anaangalia Ruto akipinduka, anamwangalia. Akienda hivi anamrudishia macho. Ni Bonny Khalwale. Huyu ni ndume, sio ndume. Mimi sitaki mwanze kupea watu uongozi ambao ni waoga. Raundi mpe watu uongozi ambao wanaweza angalia rais kwa macho na mwambie umekosa. Sawa sawa. Huyu Khalwale amekuwa kwa Senate. Yeye ni mkubwa wa Senate. But when the government goes wrong, he stands up and says you are wrong. That is the kind of leader we want. And that is the kind of leader na wataka watu wa Kakamega, you support Bonny Khalwale.
Muomba 2027 kwa heshima mnipigie kura niwe gavana wa Kakamega. Hiyo ni sawa? Mtapigia Khalwale kura ya gavana? Mkipigia Khalwale kura ya gavana 2027 inamaanisha Fernandes Barasa ni one.
And that's why I can tell you, even now, ukiuliza experts, ni nani anaweza biti mwingine kati ya Rigathi Gachagua na William Samoei Arap Ruto, wakienda kwa ballot watakwambia Rigathi Gachagua ataonyesha William Ruto kivumbi.
The elections were held today or yesterday, Gachagua will win.
Win what?
That's what so not that he will win the election.
Wait. Would win.
That's what the opinion polls say.
Would win what?
Just to tell
unless you're talking about an eating competition.
To tell you the money you are dismissing like that. He's a serious guy.
Listen, did you see the catch? Did you see the catch? And this is something I like about Professor Banyora. Listen.
Me, I'm only being logical.
No, it's
you can be what you want.
No,
me, I'm applying logic.
No, that's not logic. In fact, it's flawed logic.
You get a tender that will pay you 78 million. The banks already know you. How will those young people have conducted such a business without the banks? How?
What do you mean, the deposit?
You are saying the bank is surprised that people are being paid 78 million.
Because
I am telling you, for you to do a business where you'll be paid 78 million, the banks will have been with you all the way. Because you can't do it from your...
You're saying like... No. Did you see the catch?
Listen.
Did you see the catch? Did you see the catch? And this is something I like about Professor Banyora. He always has something to do.
Listen,
you see, the first time I got...
The viewers want to listen.
The first time I got a contract.
Wait a bit.
The amount of money that was put in my account, the bank had to call me and say, hey boss,
Let Prof conclude so that we make progress.
You are saying small, almost inconsequential, unknown entities are being paid 78 million. So even the first thing is somebody who is not known, who has never held such a money, whose account will raise suspicion because they are being paid million. How would they have done that business without acquiring money from the bank to do that business.
Do you know how Juakali
So the
works?
banks already know them.
They wouldn't know them.
No!
So it's not true. What you are saying is a lie.
Listen.
Okay, let's move forward. Let's move it.
Listen.
Me, I'm only being logical.
No, it's
you can be what you want.
No,
Me, I'm applying logic.
No, that's not logic. In fact, it's
logic.
flawed. It's flawed logic.
It's logic.
It's very flawed.
How?
By the way, Prof, if
And
you're
so one day you appear one day you appear in
my
a bank,
Juakali business,
your account has 100 million, you have been paid.
Juakali
The banks are so
listen,
surprised.
Prof, now you see
How
that's
will
a
you have
problem.
done that
My
business?
Juakali business, if these young people, their Juakali business, their turnover was 10 million. 5 million, 10 million.
Okay.
And all of a sudden,
How do they get?
and all of a sudden, wait.
How do they manage
Wait.
that? Utanunua chuma wapi?
Ngoja, sasa unaona shida yako
Lazima
ndio
uende
hiyo.
kwa bank wakukopesha pesa.
Hapana.
Utatoa pesa wapi ya chuma?
Hapana. So
Don't
all of
lie
a
to
sudden,
people, Gabriel.
all of a sudden, you get a big contract. Kama
You
hiyo ya
are
housing.
spinning for government.
Hiyo ya
You are
housing.
spin in a better way.
Prof. You see, this is where you fail.
Let's move
Me, I'm
it
giving
forward.
you
And I'm here to help you.
Let's move it
You're not
forward.
helping.
Gentlemen.
You are not believing.
I can
Gentlemen,
help you how to speak.
You know?
first person, President William Ruto. Second person, former Deputy President.
Oh, it was
Rigathi
a guy.
Gachagua. Yes.
Oh, that
So it says,
that
the president
guy.
says the 10 million shillings was paid to pass the anti-money laundering bill, and then he
This
asked the
comes from
members,
from intelligence,
did you
I
get that
think.
money? So Gachagua is saying, okay, he seems not even to care about the bribe, but whether it got to the members.
You see, if there's somebody who has a twisted logic, well, I'm sorry, you know, sometimes
Raw intelligence tells you.
no, you know, it's actually disingenuous for me to be replying to somebody who he doesn't have facts. Number one, and I can tell you, I actually listened to his interview, and if there's one thing I can put out here today, the man cheated, lied to, and lied about everything he said in that interview. It's just like the meeting he had in Boston where he was telling people that there are no roads being built in Mount Kenya. He said it from his own words, from his own mouth. And now, anything he says, it's not only flawed, it's untrue. So there's no way we can give what that crooked man said.
Leave the person.
So,
talk about what he asked.
The president actually, I believe he was talking from the sentence where he said he consumes intelligence. And just like the question how he left it, he knows it was given, and he asked the members of parliament, Mulipata. So what the president was trying, the point he was setting across is he nyumba. And he has said it not once, not twice. Even last year he said it. Because there was a time, and I can know where this is coming from because I've been in some of the discussions when they were happening, and I could see and I could tell that the president was so cross with some of the things that happen in parliament. Primarily when it comes to asking for money. It is actually a known thing that these go on, or these things go on. So the president was saying, you guys, fanyeni kazi yenyu. Is to legislate. And I remember there was a time he even called on a few members of House committees to actually express his disappointment with the mere fact that they were calling on a nearly weekly basis. They were calling on PSs, chairmen, CSs. Every week you are called into a committee. You remember, in fact, there was a debate we had with you some time back. You have cabinet secretaries who will not be able to plan their schedules well because they have to appear in parliament. Now, the previous administration, obviously, we used to see the CASs, they were going to parliament many times. Now, we don't have that CAS positions. So you have the PS as the chairman who are always there. And when they go there, they're the ones who come with the report.
What Gachagua said.
You can't give relevance to what he said. I can't sit there and give relevance
to
what he said. No, it's not debate.
You do not debate.
No. I do not debate. You cannot debate an imbalance.
Concern is this,
yes,
that the president is worried that the money did not reach the recipients. For Gachagua, he should be concerned with the giving of the bribe. Did I get that?
No.
That's what he said. It's logical.
It's not logical.
It is. He could be wrong, but I'm saying what
correct. Now you're right.
He could be wrong.
As always, he's always wrong. Now that's the point.
Gabriel, kuna msemo unasema kwa Kiswahili, mgala muue lakini haki yake mpe.
Huyo hata si mgala.
Huyo ni
Wagala pia wanasema
huyo si mgala. Tuanze kwanza, huyo si mgala.
The elections were held today or yesterday. Gachagua will win.
Win what?
That's what so not that he will win the election.
Wait. Would win.
That's what the opinion polls say.
Would win what?
Just to tell
unless you're talking about an eating competition.
To tell you the money you are dismissing like that. He's a serious guy.
Gabriel, no. This is a party leader. Gabriel, please.
Vote for him, but
with all due respect, you have to respect the party leader of the DCP party.
Yes.
He is the party leader.
No.
First of all, I do not believe his impeachment and whatever else is in court can stop Gachagua from running. Anybody who understands the law in this country will tell the politics and the law. The law is clear that until you exhaust all mechanisms up the highest level of appeal, and that's what applied to Dangwe and it applied to Sonko. Sonko was stopped because the Supreme Court made the final decision or opinion, gave the final opinion that Sonko would not run.
Just about 2 weeks to go.
Yes. Just a few weeks before the
election,
the whistle was blown. For Gachagua, I doubt that we will reach that place. And even if we reach that place before 2027, a lot of the judiciary is going to find a lot of flaws with the impeachment. They may not reverse that impeachment, but they will find it too harsh to stop Gachagua from holding public office. That's my opinion. So I don't see the impeachment standing in his way. Then there is the politics. A man with this kind of following cannot be stopped to run. If that is possible, and if that were possible, Uhuru and Ruto would not have run in 2013. They were facing graver issues than an impeachment that Gachagua faced. Because of the politics, you could not have stopped Ruto and Uhuru from running. I see the same. Even if the law, the judiciary, said he can't run, it will be very difficult to stop him. As to whether he can make an impact, there's no doubt about it. Today, as we speak from this studio, the most popular opposition leader is Brigadier Gachagua.
So if he's going to remain in that outfit with Akina Kalonzo, all those people, is he the one who's going to fly the flag?
You see, it depends on what they base on to choose the flag bearer. You know, when you are looking for a flag bearer, you look for many things. You don't just look for popularity. If it's a question of popularity, he's the most popular. He has the most numbers. He's the greatest mobilizer. He's the most forceful. Okay? And I think of all those candidates in the opposition, he's the one with the biggest pass. He's the most resourced. And he can mobilize to get money more than any of these people like Kalonzo Musyoka. Is that what they will base on? I don't know. They could look at who is the figure that unites the country most against Ruto. And they could say, tupatie mzee Kalonzo. You see? They could even look at Maraga. They could say, Matiang'i is the... so they will base themselves on certain factors. And that may not land on Gachagua, or it may land on him.
If what you've said is true, then I think, like the president keeps saying, they better have a message. And I don't think that message is coming anytime sooner. Truth of the matter is, Herman, me and you have been in these circles for long. And I can guarantee you, whether it's an MP seat or a senator seat or a governor seat, or the one for the presidency, sloganeering has never been one to make you win. Sloganeering is just that. Those are words. It's akin to what we say in Mount Kenya, Okanake, ama anguka nayo. Yes, those are slogans. They don't take you, and they are just, you feel good saying it. All right? So if what you're saying is to happen, I don't know any politics that have ever been won in sloganeering. But one thing I can tell you, Kenyans are watching. They are seeing change. They may not still feel as if we are there, but as time go by, people will start asking questions, as they have already started. I saw one person, as an example, who was so against SHA when it started. Just the other day, yesterday to be exact, they were saying how the people in their home have benefited from SHA. And they said, wait a minute, you guys who have not paid for SHA, pay for it, because it's actually changing lives. Number two, I saw doctors now who are supporting this system by saying, now we are able to see, we are able to know when hospitals are paid. We are able now to see hospitals that offer services that are not up to par. They are now starting to accept. I have seen people saying, wait a minute, we may not be there yet, but we were not there, some years back. But now, things that, mafuta, hey, wait, things are changing.
Votes don't come from the head. Votes come from the heart. So if you are thinking that people now vote for your boss because they can see things, then you have also forgotten that people forgot everything Uhuru Kenyatta had done, and they listened to the stories that Ruto was giving. Okay. And they voted for him.
Okay.
So votes don't come necessarily from the head. They come from the heart. I don't know where you get it. Many MPs have failed to be re-elected even when they have performed wonders. Because when people want to elect a president, you think they are going to care about roads or things of that nature. They want to change, they want to remove Ruto to put Matiang'i, they will just put him. They don't even care what Matiang'i will do. If you dwell on the hardware, you are not helping President Ruto.
Yes, you have told all that.
Right now, it is the software. You are dealing with the anger people have against the president. You do not address the anger people have by throwing roads.
Anger
this
come
road
from
here.
Somewhere. Where has that anger come from?
Mefunguka, or jobs. When you talk of jobs, the people can even beat you there. They don't see those jobs.
Where is the anger coming from? Jobs are not to be seen.
Talk
jobs.
to us, we tell you.
Since this broad-based government became more solid, we've seen the president and Raila Odinga in one corner versus parliament. Raila started with NGCDF anasema haifai iende kwa bunge. The MPs have rejected it. They've gone to the issue of corruption. Both of them are attacking from one end, parliament. And then we now have the EGPS. What do you make of that? Has this broad-based thing emboldened the president to attack these other arms of government?
Of course, the president feels more secure because of Raila Odinga. He's assured of Raila's numbers, at least most of them, almost all of them. And he also has his own core numbers. He cannot be so threatened by parliament the way he would have been threatened if Raila was still on the other side. So that gives him the confidence to do some things he may not have wanted to do. Now he can do them, especially if they are good things for this country, he will do them. For example, if he's going to fight corruption, Kenyans will support him, even if MPs don't want. Kenyans don't support, many reasonable Kenyans feel CDF is misplaced because MPs cannot oversight and at the same time be the one spending the money. And we have devolved systems. All devolved funds should go, like Raila is saying, to the county governments, where the same will be oversighted by MPs. So it makes a lot of sense. If the numbers Raila has brought give the president the confidence to do the right things for the people of this country, he will be supported by all of us.
Do you think he's now getting the confidence to do it? And
I think there's a measure of confidence. Because you see, politics is about survival. And that's why he gave them CDF knowing it was a wrong thing to do. The High Court had said no. Appeal Court affirmed no. Supreme Court said no. But the president sneaked in some advice from the Attorney General to say they can get CDF. If it was like now, he would have said no.
Okay.
So that confidence the president has that comes from being with Raila can benefit the people of this country.
And do you think the MPs, because we're celebrating 15 years of Katiba, do you think the MPs will live up to their independence and say, no, we're going to revolt against these two people?
They don't have the courage. They don't have the conviction. I cannot see MPs in significant numbers standing up against the president. I don't think that can happen. Therefore, that so-called independence of parliament, it will take a while for us to see it.
The point he was really trying to put across was there's a lot of change, and significantly so, that parliament must do. whether it's through oversight, whether it's remaining independent, and whatever it is, that they must do right by the people. And I really thought that was a very, very good thing coming from somebody who has been in that house, for several seasons. Now, Honorable Raila's support notwithstanding, and in full realization that now things are working better with the broad-based, as you have seen, there's one thing we cannot take away, that yes, the new dawn of a new constitution, we were all happy here, me and Prof here, we've talked about this constitution many times, but he also will agree with me, as we've debated over the years, that it is time we look at this constitution again, and see whether is it ripe for amendments and what have you. The constitution is not written in a stone, it's a spirit of a people. And what is working for us, we embrace. What is not working by the people, we see what we can change. The mere fact that there has been ongoing debate of what MPs should be doing raises concern to all of us. And the Mwananchi will have the final say. There's nothing that's going to be done in the backyard. No, it will come, full throttle to all of us. We will see, we will engage with it.
Okay.
But it is time. It is time.
That
as Honorable Raila is saying, we need to do well, we need to do better by the
constitution. Okay. And the governor saying that what is happening to him is political.
Correct.
What were you doing in Kericho? Okay.
But anyway,
in relations to this, as we wind it up,
but I was able to talk to so many people, and I can tell without fear of contradiction, indeed it was political. And I found myself really, Emmanuel, thinking, have we done, and this I'm talking about the leaders who've been elected, are we doing justice to devolution? Are we doing justice, really? And I kept giving people examples. I'm like, Emmanuel, you choose every place you go, whether it's your service, whether it's that of your children, you like to choose the best. You want to choose the best teacher, you want to choose the best driver if you have one, you want to choose the best restaurant, where you're spending your money. You want to choose the best doctor. What happens when it comes to choosing the leaders? Why can't we also, Professor Manyora, choose the very best? And now MCAs is a very integral part of our governance and devolution. So we need to be very careful. We need to be very careful of the people we elect. Let us do our very best as a country to elect the people, not those who get the acclamation of the majority, but those who have essence, character, and leadership. Because what I saw really is people being moved to say who you are talking, and you are asking them why. Unakuta mtu hata nipa diema lenye moya kwenda Mombasa. Can you imagine? And you sit down, you say governor aende. It has got nothing to do with governance or what he's doing for the people. Now, I am not advocating that governors should not be brought to account. Where it matters, yes. We have all avenues provided by the law and by this constitution to take them through what Governor Mutai went through. It is there. But let's not misuse these provisions of our constitution, Emmanuel. Okay. It is retrogressive. It is retrogressive. And I can repeat here again, the people I talked to in Kericho, it was everything to do with politics.
Okay, Prof.
An impeachment is a serious matter. We cannot reduce it to commonplace stuff. It's very serious. It's a provision that we must use carefully so that we don't reduce it to something like what Gachagua went through. Also for governors, they also have to be responsible. They have been given resources by the people of this country, and they must use the resources responsibly. Where there are sufficient grounds to be impeached, they should be impeached.
Correct.
It is politics. I'm surprised Gachagua, not Gachagua, this man you call him, Gabriel, is saying it was politics. Yes! You can only be impeached through politics.
No.
An impeachment, even in America, is politics.
No.
It's never about anything else.
No.
It's just about politics. Even if people politically don't like your face, they can impeach you because you don't look good. Look, when the impeachment trial reaches the U.S. Senate, it's a question of numbers. It's politics. It's not a question of the charges against the president. You get it? The president will survive because in Senate, when the trial comes, he has the numbers for the trial not to go through. So it's always impeachment is a political process. And that's why I've always said, once a governor has been impeached, our courts should keep off. Let that person go home completely. Because it's just a political process. And you see, you use the law to run the process, but it's a political process. So the Kericho MCS, whether they are illiterate or semi-literate, but they are the politicians of that county. Their word there is law. If the MCS in Kericho feel their governor should go, he should just go.